everyone, and welcome back to the Blue Curtain Project, the only show that dares to say the curtains are depressed. Today we're talking about Hoodwinked, aka the singing goat movie. Don't lie, I know that's the only reason you remember it. We'll get to him in a bit. I have to be honest, I'm not actually sure how much there is to say about Hoodwinked, because it kind of wears its theme on its sleeve.
You can't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah. Okay, come back. Daddy needs to get monetized. We're going at least 8 minutes. Now, what Hoodwinked is really about is...
You can't judge a book by its cover.
Ignore that.
The early 2000s were obsessed with reimagining and parodying fairy tales.
Because Shrek was that good.
They invented an Oscar for Shrek. They made videos I cannot show you for Shrek. Every exec in the world was confounded by Shrek. And if they could make that much bank off an ogre from a book no one read, imagine what they could squeeze out of a timeless classic.
Red Riding Hood. You probably know the story.
That's right, the Twilight Zone.
I'm not crazy, right? They're doing a Twilight Zone.
There's no scary door, but it's got the film grain, the spooky music, someone screaming for no reason.
And it kind of makes sense. I mean, after all, the whole point of the Twilight Zone was challenging people's perceptions and offering a new way to look at the human condition.
Just like this film promises to present a new way to look at Red Riding Hood. So tell us, what's this bold new take?
Granny!
Ah, they're ugly.
Yes, the film does have a certain creepy uncle who's a little too into marionettes vibe to it, but don't let that distract you. It's actually pretty good, and the cast is stacked. That's Anne Hathaway playing Red.
And what big ears you have!
Patrick Warburton as the wolf.
All the better to hear your many criticisms.
And freaking Glenn Close as Granny.
Full shizzle.
The rapper Exhibit even voices a cop grizzly bear.
I get the picture. Any connection with the recipe robberies?
Which, I mean, I don't know if counts as stacked per se, but it's certainly notable. And yes, even though they themselves seem to know it's ridiculous,
Take them downtown, boys.
It's the woods, Chief. We don't have a downtown.
this world has police officers, because this is not the story of Little Red Riding Hood. It's the story of the investigation that came after. And now it's time for a segment called Nikhil Gets Pretentious. Y'all ever heard of postmodernism?
It's hard to nail down to a specific definition because part of its whole bit is believing that art should not have specific definitions. That's why it's said the volatility of the term is one of its most stable features.
But essentially it came about as a rejection of modernism. You know, those paintings of squares that everyone swears they could do themselves.
But whereas that movement was about idealism and perfection, this one dealt with skepticism and suspicion. To paraphrase some scholars, realism looks at the world through a window, but modernism looks at the window itself and how the world is reflected through it. Postmodernism looks at everything: the world, the window, the frame, the drapings, and even the act of looking. In Hoodwinked terms, through the window would be the story of Red Riding Hood. The window itself would be the structure of that story.
And the act of looking would be our own thoughts about it. Or, to put it simply,
Judge a book by its cover.
the way they look at things is through something called intertextuality.
The idea that nothing exists on its own. It's all just an assemblage or collage that jams things together, and in doing so calls attention not just to their convergences, but also to the artificial construct by which they are produced.
What does that mean? That our silly little fairy tale is now a whodunit.
Yes, meet the Enchanted Forest's own Benoit Blanc, Nicky Flippers.
Say, Tommy, you lose some weight?
No.
Didn't think so.
Who kinda sucks. Fuck you, you Meet the Robinsons reject. Why do they call you Flippers anyway? Oh, you're multifaceted.
You can't judge a book.
Yeah, I get it. Thank you. Flippers is here because this isn't just a simple case of whatever the opposite of a furry is. It's a chance to catch the Goody Bandit.
A mysterious, nefarious criminal, the bandit has been stealing the recipes of all the goody shops in town.
Which is apparently the backbone of their economy.
Seriously, what is this? Everyone owns a goody shop?
And then what? After a hard day making the world sweeter just one candy at a time, you go out and eat at other goody shops?
How were any of you staying open? And why are you closing?
They took your recipes, not your hands. Sure, I guess now they can make it themselves, but they didn't seem keen on doing that anyways. I mean, there's only so many kinds of goodies. What made yours so... Oh. That's it, isn't it? That's what you're afraid of getting out. Well, it's too late. We all know what's in your brownies now. Every single ingredient. Get out of this town, you foul, and don't even think about coming back. Anyways, framing this story as a whodunit works because that genre already evokes another key aspect of postmodernism.
The heart of postmodernism is the unreliable nature of language. What we think we're saying is never what we actually say. And if all writing is actually an act of miscommunication, then postmodernists renounce the responsibility of conveying truth with a capital T to instead investigate the contradictory, many-voiced nature of small t truths.
Or, in simpler terms,
Pieces of a puzzle make funny shapes, but they still fit together in the end.
So he decides to interrogate the subjects one by one, starting with Little Red, who is bored. Yeah, apparently living in a whimsical land of talking creatures, and Wade just isn't cutting it for her.
Are you going somewhere far away?
No, the world is too dangerous for me.
Fancy! Danger! Turn into the skid!
maybe you're too dangerous for the world. You ever think of that?
Horrified by her callous action, she runs down to help the man she— no, sorry, she only cares about her own store.
But you can hear the commotion when it pertains to you. Interesting.
Anyways, this cold-hearted killer is the granddaughter and delivery girl for the biggest goody tycoon around, Granny Puckett. The bandit's R-Steel VP has put her so on edge that she decides to take the family's recipe book out of the vault and bring it to Granny's house in the mountains for safekeeping.
Cause what is a vault compared to a frail old woman? Also, why do you live on the mountain? What, you trying to do something else with your life other than goodies? In this economy?
Your shop is down here, woman, and apparently it's not that easy to get to.
A trip up the mountain is too dangerous for a little girl.
Thank God Red's well connected.
Aren't you helping the Muffin Man today?
Oh, he closed up shop. Someone took all his recipes last night. Now I'm out of a job.
Oh, gee, Boingo, I'm really sorry. Are you still running the cable car?
There's a cable car? Oh, okay, so Granny's just a liar and this isn't dangerous at all. This is why you don't put bunnies in positions of power.
This is where she first meets the wolf. Don't worry though, this little Red stays strapped. Surprise, surprise, the strangely targeted mace only makes him angrier, but don't worry, she mind controls some birds to get away.
You didn't know that Red Riding Hood controlled animals? Of course she does. She's a Disney princess. Okay, not literally, that would be expensive, but this is part of the intertextuality I was just talking about.
She's a young girl in a fairy tale who dreams of more than her provincial life.
Whether they realize it or not, the audience's history with these tropes has already primed them to see her as something akin to a Disney princess.
Which opens her up to the same kind of jokes, and they land
The only thing your granddaughter is guilty of is flying a swarm of hummingbirds without a license.
despite the fact it has nothing to do with the story they're parodying.
And it just goes to show that no matter how silly it may seem, everything in a film serves a purpose.
Oh God, we're at the goat already?
Just let me consult my notes real quick. His name is Japheth.
And he was cursed by a witch to sing everything he says.
That's right.
You just talked.
Unless he's a liar. We know he can't scream though, so that's terrifying. Beyond that, I don't know. He's kind of giving Tom Bombadil.
Like he's a strange man in a hut with a lot of lore that no one seems interested in explaining. All we know is that he has horns.
Like a lot of them. There's a whole song that Red basically ignores. Hey, show some whimsy. Enjoy your life.
You got a mysterious singing goat next to you, confirmation that witches are real and are on the coolest looking roller coaster of all time. What are you even worried about?
Japheth, did you know the track was gone? You can't be taking people on death coasters, bud.
Be prepared.
How was she supposed to be prepared for this? Come on.
I was prepared.
That's great for you. It's still not nice. I mean, what even happened?
I'll get you and your little granny too.
Oh, right, there's a predator in the building.
Yes, now it's time to hear from the wolf. Only, surprise, he's not as big and bad as he may seem.
You saying this guy's a cop?
Or worse, he's a reporter.
This is a fun send-up to the noir movement,
Which typically revolved around private detectives, insurance agents, reporters, or other outsiders solving cases that regular police couldn't. In this case, the wolf has been after the Goody Bandit for a while. He even talked to Wade.
and if you couldn't tell, his thing is wearing disguises.
It's all about being
Run that by me one more time, Chief.
Undercover, got it. Yeah, nobody sees, nobody knows. Click, click.
Right, and all of this snooping has led him to the greatest scoop yet. Granny Puckett is the Goody Bandit.
I mean, it makes sense. Granny is shady and she has the most to gain from driving out competition. Of course, she is also being robbed.
But to be fair, Wolf missed that scene for a sight gag.
All I know is that the old lady lives up high in the hills. Not a lot of visitors.
Except the little girl.
This is why he starts to trail red, but notably, from here on, his account doesn't actually conflict with hers. Everything happens exactly as she said. It's just explained as a miscommunication or a mistake.
What kind of candles are those?
The only question left unanswered is why Granny was tied up, but he genuinely doesn't seem to know.
Which all points to one of the best twists in the film. Flippers is wrong.
Down, Chief. We've got 4 suspects, and that means 4 stories. And if you get people talking long enough, someone will spill the beans.
He thinks he's in a whodunit. He thinks he's putting together the grand tapestry of what happened that day.
He thinks he's going to be able to catch one of them in a lie, but he's not, because he doesn't have 4 versions of the same story. He has 4 stories that have shockingly little to do with each other.
Take the axe-wielding maniac. Surely he's an important piece of the puzzle, right?
You can't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah, I get it!
He's an actor.
No, boy.
Or at least an aspiring one. Right now, his day job is working at a goodie shop.
'Cause of course it is.
Specifically, he sells
I'm gonna be honest, I don't actually know what is. The kids seem to love it though. It's just chicken fried steak. Like, yeah, that's chicken fried steak.
Don't know if I love how protein-centric the Enchanted Forest kids are, but okay. The important thing is the bandit hits him.
Which basically exonerates him.
But someone robbed me. Have we lost track of that?
As for what happened, he got a callback for Paul Bunyan cream.
They wanted him to act like a lumberjack, so he cut down trees until he Gene kayaked his way into their house.
And that's it.
I think it's safe to say that our thespian friend here knows the least about anything of anyone in this room.
Which gets us to the case of Granny Puckett's double life. Not as the Goody Bandit, Wolf, you're not good at your job, but as Triple G, the famous extreme sports star.
Her plot, and I'm not kidding, involves a skiing tournament where a rival European team has been hired to ice her out.
We were hired by the bandit.
They nearly succeed, but like her granddaughter, she is always strapped.
Also like her granddaughter, she is a danger to the world around her.
Hundreds of creatures are dead, but she helped Red out, so
call it even. But wait, if she started the avalanche and the wolf blew up the track...
There is another player in this game.
Of course, it's all so obvious.
Someone who's hippity-hopped his way through all of your stories.
Japheth is a plot convenience.
Yeah, it's a little funny given how memorable of a character he is, but Japheth really just serves to get Red on that track.
That scene is the linchpin of the film, and the only place all of the stories really overlap before the final encounter. So she needs to be there, and that's what the goat exists to facilitate.
Beyond that, there's not really a lot to him other than gimmicks. Even his song is basically an ode to Deus Ex Machina.
Be prepared, be prepared.
And Flippers figured that all out. That's...
Not the bunny!
Oh, right, we were looking for the bandit. Okay, well...
I guess Boingo did talk to everybody, but is that really enough to blame him for... Oh, never mind, the wrap-up's from a different angle and you can see his evil plan.
Side note, Boingo, I couldn't help but notice of everything you checked off there, you haven't gotten around to pick up dry cleaning, pay gas bill, or call mom yet. Evil is great, but remember to take some time for yourself. It's called work-life balance, it's important.
Anyways, now we know our bandit, let's all gang up, go get him, and where's Red? Oh, I guess she took some of that whole Granny having a secret double life thing to heart.
You're off living La Vida Loca, risking your life for some dumb thrills, and I'm supposed to stay home and be your happy little delivery girl?
Wonder why. Anyways, now...
Red is blue.
Well, yeah.
Doesn't make much sense, but...
No, I think you're okay. It's just a pun on the word blue.
And you feel like you're the loneliest girl in the world.
What in the love is blind are these lyrics? Red is blue, now I'm walking through a field. Red is blue. Flowers going in reverse is weird. Red is blue. We overhyped the schnitzel, yeah. As she reflects on her relationship with Granny, we get our best look into Red's mind yet.
We see a flashback to Red as a child and learn that the Pucketts have been goodie makers for generations.
Kinda just duh at this point.
But the real revelation is that they're also all adventurers. That's what makes their goodies so good.
Pucketts have been making and collecting recipes all over the world, refining them, giving them that special Puckett touch.
And that actually does reframe the entire film.
Because up until now, the movie has let you assume that Red does not want to follow in her grandmother's shoes.
But this has never been the case. Red loves being a Puckett. In fact, she based her entire identity around it.
Put that hood on. You carry on a grand tradition.
They call me Red because of this red hood I wear.
What about when you're not wearing it?
I usually wear it.
Her family's plan for her was never a curse. It was a promise that went unfulfilled.
So when she's yelling at Granny about just being her delivery girl,
she's not saying, why do you get to be cool while I just make goodies? She's saying, how come you're doing what you promised me and I'm not?
And this gets back to that window metaphor, right? Postmodernism looks at the very act of looking.
Which, yes, means your thoughts about Little Red Riding Hood, but also your thoughts on this movie. It doesn't just play with your expectations. It plays with your expectation that it's going to play with your expectations.
If you go into this and assume Red is like a Disney princess, you won't expect her to want to be queen. If you think the wolf is going to be misunderstood because of his species, you'll be surprised to see that he is properly understood, but because of his profession.
The wolf did it. Talk about profiling.
Why should we trust someone who wears disguises for a living?
The woodsman's not crazy. Clearly, he's just a harmless idiot, except he's actually the one doing the most harm.
Just out damaging forest property, cutting down the redwoods we all call home.
And Granny is just your typical old woman does non-old woman things joke.
Kinda, yeah, but the extra joke is that it's the normal grandma bit that's considered out of line.
But the best example of this is probably Boingo, cause yeah, I'm sure most people watching this assumed he was the bandit right away.
But the movie counts on that. That's why they spoil it in his very first scene.
Aren't you helping the Muffin Man today?
Oh, he closed up shop. Someone took all his recipes last night. Now I'm out of a job.
Oh, gee, Boingo, I'm really sorry. Are you still running the cable car?
Yeah, I am.
You see how he has a job but just lied to make himself look more pathetic? That's sort of Boingo's whole bit, and they give it away immediately.
Cause who the bandit is doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that he wants to build them all.
Though an argument could be made that localizing all of the goodie shops into one central food court isn't like the worst idea.
What matters is that having this whodunit framing has allowed the film to literally question the characters and tropes it wanted to. And the true resolution isn't the flashy title drop.
You've been hoodwinked, baby!
It's Red reclaiming the cloak, the symbol of her family, and working with Granny.
They don't even actually stop Boingo. He just sort of transitions into jail the moment the plot's done using him.
Red's arc is fulfilled not by breaking away, but by being recognized for what she already was.
You were really something up there.
I take after my granny.
But wait, if Red is going to be like Granny now and going on adventures to make better goodies, then what happens to her delivery route? If only there was some sort of convenient plot element that they established earlier to be prepared for—
Got horns that hold a muffins, and I got horns that hold a pie.
There we go. And listen, is Hoodwinked the only postmodern film to exist? No. But is it one of the better ones? I mean, you heard me mention Shrek, right?
But it is smart, or at least smarter than it probably seems when you first look at it, and that's why I genuinely think it had such an impact on people, and why it's still talked about today, because it is the embodiment of the classic phrase,
You can't judge a book by its cover.